Can we talk about lights? Yes, we are changing this Wednesday up into a Home Economics Wednesday, for a little while at least. One of the things that you will find out about me is I love light. If you talk to me any amount of time, you'll find out that I'm a person who absolutely loves lights. And we're going to talk first about my kitchen, because my kitchen actually has a lot of different lights in it. And some of them you won't have, and we won't go over those, because in my kitchen I do my recording for my cooking shows, and so there are some halo lights which are up above, which we won't even cover, which just cast a glow for when I'm doing one of those. But in the kitchen I have all of these different lights, and I'm going to tell you I don't need all of them, and I don't use some of them. Alright, let's start with the first ones, which are the easiest ones to see, which are just the lamps which are on the counters. Those lamps, do I use them often? Actually, oddly enough, yes I do. I use those things all the time. I use the one which is programmed into my home assistant, which then turns on a night light. So I have a night light in my kitchen and I can see everything. It's great. It's wonderful. It gives me enough light for the evening. It is a wonderful thing to have. I can program it to come on when I want to, but that's a whole nother issue. If you want to hear me talk about home assistants, let me know down in the comments. But I also have under cabinet lighting. The under cabinet lighting is basically a task lighting. It is very bright. Those are daylight bulbs underneath there, and you'll notice that I can see everything that I could possibly want to see under there. And then up above I have over cabinet lighting, which lights up over the cabinets, and when that is on, it is very bright. It is way more bright than you would imagine. It has different colors that it can do. I did a whole video on that. Check that card. It will take you to that video. It is one of those things that I do like that light, but we aren't always in the kitchen. Can we talk about my living room? Because from my living room I can see my kitchen. And one of the problems that I have is, if I have my night light on from the kitchen, from the living room, and I look over there, it's not that bad. If I use any of those other lights, it is super, super bright. As in, like the under cabinet lighting, that is almost blinding in the kitchen because it just hits the right spot where I'm sitting on my sofa. It just hits me, so it's really, really bright. The over cabinet lighting, it is very bright, but I can dim that down. I just don't use that often because I use the night light feature. I love that feature. The light is just wonderful. It is on my home assistant, so I use it all the time. Now my upper cabinet lights, they are supposed to be working on making sure that it can work on a 5G infrastructure. Right now it can't, which means that my home assistants cannot use that. That's its own issue, but that's okay. But I don't use it that often. I think I would more often if I could then control it by just telling Google that I wanted the light on. That would be really nice, but I can't right now. So this scene that you see right here, all of these lights are controlled by my home assistant, so I can change their intensity, I can change all of that stuff. But this is one of the big things. When you think about all the lights that you're going to need for something, you have to think about the fact that you aren't always going to be in that area. Think about how the light spills out into other areas, because you might find that you never use it. I know lots of people who have under cabinet lighting and never once touch it. Not at all. And I don't either. I don't touch my under cabinet lighting. The other two, use them a lot. Quite a bit. And then my overhead light, yes, if I'm in my kitchen I will turn on my overhead light, and if I'm just cooking for myself, that's the light that I use. But it is something to think about, because a lot of times we just think, well, I'm going to put these lights up and I will use them all the time, and then when the actual thing comes down to it, you don't use them all the time. They look really pretty, but do you need that much light? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but also think about the spill. The spill can be horrible. And if you have other people in your house, or you're in their house and you forget to turn off the lights, or there's no way to turn off the light that you forgot to turn off, that is something to think about. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think about that. I hope I get to see you the next time you stop by.